before you were born. Three ancient sisters already knew exactly how you would die. They sit beneath the world tree, weaving the threads of every life that has ever existed. Past, present, and future. Nothing escapes their sight. You can't bargain with them. You can't run from them. Even the gods themselves bow to their power. These are the Norns, and today we're going to explore why these three sisters might be the most terrifying figures in all of mythology. You've probably heard the phrase, the Fates, whether through Greek mythology or some modern reference. When it comes to destiny and the end of days, you can't go far without running into fate-weaving sisters. So who are these mysterious figures, and what exactly is their story? The idea of the Norns originates from Norse mythology. They appear mainly in the Poetic Edda and Prose Edda, ancient texts that preserve Viking Age myths. Unlike the gods, the Norns exist outside the normal hierarchy of Norse deities. They dwell at the base of Yggdrasil, the world tree that connects all 9 realms, sitting beside the well of Urd, where they weave the destiny of every living creature. There are 3 sisters, Urd, Verdandi, and Skuld. Out of these 3, each represents a different aspect of time, but together they've been given dominion over past, present, and future. The first Norn to appear is Urd, the keeper of the past. Then I saw the first sister at the well, and she who sat there was ancient beyond measure, and the past was given to her, and she wove what had already been woven. Her name literally translates to that which has become. She is depicted as an elderly woman, sometimes blind or looking backward, because the past is behind us and unchangeable. The Well of Urd itself is named after her, showing her fundamental importance to fate. This Norn has been interpreted in several different ways. To some, she represents the accumulated weight of all past actions. Everything that has already happened forms the foundation for what comes next. The Vikings believed that Urd didn't just record the past, she used it. The Norns water the roots of Yggdrasil with water from her well mixed with clay to preserve the world tree, suggesting the past literally sustains reality. Some scholars claim Urd represented something closer to karma, the idea that past deeds create present circumstances. Going back to Nordic culture, Urd was thought to symbolize Wired, the complex Germanic concept of fate that influenced all Anglo-Saxon and Norse thinking. The second Norn is Verdandi, the weaver of the present. When the second sister appeared, I heard her weaving, saying, "Come." And behold, a woman in her prime. And to her was granted the present moment, and the choices being made, and great power was given to her. Everything about the second Norn centers on the now. Verdandi means that which is becoming, or simply, the present. She is depicted as a woman in the prime of life, actively weaving, constantly in motion. Where Urd deals with what's done, Verdandi works with threads that are actively being woven. The present moment, and the choices being made. It's this passage that led scholars to interpret Verdandi as representing free will within fate. She sees every choice being made right now across all 9 realms, every warrior raising their sword, every king making a decree, every child being born. This is where Norse philosophy gets complex. If Verdandi is weaving the present, do we actually have free will? The Vikings believed in word, a concept more nuanced than simple fate. While your overall destiny might be set, how you meet it still matters. Urd has woven your past. Skuld knows your death is coming. But Verdandi is weaving your choices right now. The third Norn is Skuld, the shadow of what must be. When she revealed the third sister, I heard the third say, "Come." I looked, and behold, a veiled figure, and she who sat there had the name Future, and death was following with her. Authority was given to them over all of the earth, to end with sword and with famine and with pestilence and by fire and flood. Skuld's name translates to that which should become, or debt, or even guilt. She is the youngest sister and represents the future, but unlike prophets or fortune tellers, Skuld doesn't predict the future. She already knows it, because she's already woven it. Skuld is often depicted veiled, sometimes carrying a scroll still unrolled, symbolizing the future, yet to unfold. What's particularly chilling is that Skuld also appears in other Norse texts as a Valkyrie, one of Odin's choosers of the slain. This makes sense. Who better to choose who dies in battle than the being who already knows their fate? Authority was given to them over all of the earth, to end with sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by fire and flood. This passage refers to all three sisters working together. After years of fate being woven, life and death, choices and consequences, the Norns had woven Ragnarok itself, the end of all things. The Norns have been interpreted in many different ways. One interpretation sees them as representing the great cycle of time itself. Erd is what was, Verdandi is what is, Skuld is what will be. Together they form the complete wheel of existence. The concept isn't unique to Norse mythology. The Greeks had the Moirae, known to the Romans as the Fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. The Slavs had the Sudice. The Celts had triple goddess figures. There's something universal about three women controlling destiny, perhaps reflecting the three phases of a woman's life, or time itself. The Norns also appear differently in the Poetic Edda versus later texts. Some scholars believe there were originally many Norns, not just three, with different Norns assigned to different people or places. The three sisters, Erd, Verdandi, and Skuld, were simply the most powerful, the ones who wove the fates of gods and the world itself. Here's what makes the Norns truly terrifying. Even the gods couldn't escape what they wove. Odin, the All-Father, knew about Ragnarok because the Norns had already woven it. He knew he would die, killed by the great wolf Fenrir. Despite all his wisdom, all his power, he couldn't change it. Thor would die from the venom of Jormungandr. Baldur would be killed by mistletoe. The Norns had woven it all. This is what separated the Norns from the gods. The Aesir were powerful, but they were still subject to fate. The Norns didn't just know fate. They were fate. They existed on a level above even Odin. After Ragnarok, after everything burned and the world sank beneath the waves, a new world would emerge from the ruins. Was this part of the Norns' plan all along? The myths suggest fate is more complex than simple predestination. It's a cycle, death and rebirth, all woven into one vast tapestry. The Norns have appeared in countless modern works. Neil Gaiman's American Gods features them as three women in a carousel bar. The game God of War portrays them as beings existing outside normal time. Marvel Comics have featured them occasionally, though usually simplified. Even the common phrase, the Fates, or talking about destiny, carries echoes of these ancient sisters, weaving at the base of the world tree. The Norns teach us something important. There are things you cannot change. You can't change your past. That's Erd's domain, already woven. You can't know your future with certainty. That's Skuld's domain, veiled and hidden. But Verdandi, the present, that's where you have power. Not unlimited power, but the power to choose how you face what's coming. The Vikings couldn't control most of what happened to them, but they could control their response. They could choose courage. The Norns have woven your thread. The end is already written. But how you walk the path between now and then, that's still being decided. Hopefully this has shed some light on the Norns. If you'd like to share some of your favorite references to these mysterious sisters, feel free to do so in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching.